I'd seen things about it on the internet for probably a year before I got involved, but it just didn't seem coherent to me. But then, all of a sudden, within about a 2-month period, I met Mary here in Florida, and a couple of my friends, Drew Knight, who's the governor in Florida, and a few others, and Alan Craiglow in Iowa, and they started talking to me about it, and I said, this thing could be for real. And then I went to that meeting where there was about 60 people here in Florida, and that's when I really started to feel very comfortable with it, because the quality of the people was pretty high quality of people and pretty high level of education in terms of knowledge about our founding principles.
Right.
That's what really impressed me. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, so you've been involved with them for how many years now?
With who? The Republic?
With the Republic.
Oh, no, just a few months. I'm a baby to this. I think I've been a congressman for 4 months, maybe 4 or 5 months at the most.
Okay. And you talk about congressmen. You say that you have governors, all elected from these grand juries. What other branches or offices does your government have?
Attorney General, Secretary of State, grand juries, jury foreman. What else? That's basically it, though. The congressmen and the senators, the governors, Secretary of State, Attorney General, ambassadors, and jurors, and grand jurors, and jury foremen. That's pretty much what is the basic structure that we're creating.
And you have this is this is for the state. What do you have at the national level, at the federal level?
At the national level, there's a president. His name is Tim Turner. There's a House. Mark Lonsberry is the Speaker of the House. Jim Geiger, I believe, is the head of the Senate. Jim Fitzgerald is the chief ambassador. He's in charge of all the state ambassadors. There's I can't. Kelby, the fellow I think is Vice President Kelby in California. Nathan Pritchie, I believe his name is, the Attorney General.
And so you have all the cabinet positions filled already for the national government. Do you have what about other government organizations like defense? I mean, if you have cabinet positions, you have Secretary of Defense. Do you have I don't know, like a Secretary of the Army type position or something like that?
I wasn't at the meeting in Utah when all that was discussed. I did see a tape, and they did say that all those positions, they had people for all those positions, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question from the chat room. People are talking back and forth. They want to know about the elders in the organization. What's the I guess the higher level behind this movement? Who are the people that are involved?
And when I first started seeing things about the Republic about a year ago on the website, there were mention of the elders. And as far as I know, that's all I've ever heard. I don't know about the elders. I don't know any of them. I have not heard anything about that since I've been active in the organization. So I'm sorry, I really can't answer that. As far as who was behind the whole thing, what I'm seeing is a truly bottom-up organization developing at the local level, and the people really that's where the power is going to be in this thing, at the local level. The state constitutions are going back to the original constitution. The states are going to take very seriously their role as being the creators of, the states created the Constitution.
Right.
That's a point most people don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
John?
Oh, yeah, that's a point most people are not aware of. When they
right.
see the We the People, they believe that the people created it, and actually it's a contract between the states creating this other entity that is the federal government. The federal government is an agent for the states, just as the state is an agent for the people.
What the Constitution, the preamble should say is we the individual sovereigns of the individual states. It shouldn't say we the people because it's a misnomer, it's misleading. Patrick Henry hated that term.
Well, yeah, right. Governor Morris was on that committee, of the Stiles Committee, and they needed to come up with something. And when the first thing they had was we the states, and then came the thought, what if not all of the states ratify it? Do we have to change it at that point? And then there was a thought about maybe we should list all of the states, and then they'd have to go back and relist all the states as new states came in. So they had to come up with something, and unfortunately they settled on we the people.
Yeah, which is amazing because you read other constitutions, and a lot of constitutions, they just go right out. Here's Article 1. They have no preamble that, none of this language that we argue over now in our Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, back then it was common to have a preamble. Even the Declaration of Independence has a preamble. When in the course of human events, and as that opening statement to give you the gist of what's about to come.
Well, that first two paragraphs of the Declaration of Independence is the whole founding document to me. I mean, that clearly lays out who has the power and who doesn't, and who can alter or abolish it at any time if they don't like what they've created. So ultimately, it all goes back to those two paragraphs. When there's a question about who has power, whether a state has the power to secede, for example, and the states have that power they created. Look. It makes common sense. It's one of those things that the founders would say is self-evident. The creators of something have more power than the thing that they create. And so the states created the federal government to do certain things for them that they couldn't do individually. And they have the right to change that with 75% of the vote.
And that's why you see a lot of with the 10th Amendment movement. And going back the last, let's say, 5 years, you've seen a lot of amendments in state legislatures pushing 10th Amendment agendas, trying to take back some of that authority.
The 10th Amendment couldn't be more clear. And the other thing that people don't know because they don't see it anymore, because they don't even print it anymore, is the preamble to the Bill of Rights. The preamble to the Bill of Rights clearly states that here are further restrictions on you, federal government. Here are further restrictions. In other words, we've got all these restrictions that we're restricting you. That's what the Constitution does. It restricts you to certain enumerated powers. But here's some further restrictions. You really have to dig to find a preamble anywhere, by the way. That's